Hey guys, so I've been hearing about some issues with the Quantum Nova CX-20, also known as the Cheerson CX-20. I've been hearing about some software issues, and I'm here to help you guys out. So I have the Big Shark version here, and if you guys don't have the Big Shark version, you should be able to find some software that should be able to run it for you, either for the Zero version or the open source version. So for the Big Shark controller, you're going to want to go to this link here. I have it in the description below, and you click on the driver software here, and you run through the setup. Now when you run through the setup, you will see two check boxes. One will be a .NET framework, and the other one will be something else. Click them both. Make sure they're both checked, and continue. And there's also a part where all the instructions are in Japanese or Chinese, and choose the center option and wait. And that's the way I got through it. And so here's the main page, and further down here you'll see some interesting stuff. Now if you don't want to open up your quadcopter to find out what it is, there's an easier way to find out. The GPS module in each one is a bit different. So the open source version is going to have a green square. The Zero version is going to have a red circle but with arrows, and this one, the Big Shark version, is not going to have arrows, and it's going to be a red circle. And the way to do that is, on your CX-20, you will simply tilt it over like this, pop open the top, and there you go. And that's how you'll be able to find out which version it is. Now, the writing might be a different color, but that's okay as long as it's either the white arrows, the green square, or just the blank red circle. So that's how you'll be able to do that. Now, the software is very easy to use, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But quickly, on a side note, the charger that comes with it, I don't recommend it. This charger should probably just be thrown away. And the reason I'm saying that is because it takes about 2 hours or so to charge the battery, and if you just want to go out and have fun and fly, you don't want to come back and wait for 2 hours. Instead, you can get something like this. This is an Electron 65 AC Eco Power. It's about 50 bucks. Worth every penny. I'm serious, worth every penny. Now with this, you'll be able to charge it in about an hour or less. I've been getting about 40 minutes to charge, and you can actually get batteries to charge in half that time, but you'll be spending a little bit more on the battery. But with the stock battery that they send you, this little LiPo, it's 2700 milliamps, and it's pretty good. It's about 12-minute flight setup, depending on what you have set up on your software, which I'm going to show you. And it's very easy to do. Again, highly recommend this if you're going to be flying a lot. So anyways, let's get to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to download the software. And once the software is downloaded, you'll see this. I don't know if you can see it from that far away, but it's called the S8 Assistant. It'll look like a shark. And now to actually run it, if you click on S8 Assistant without it plugged in, it's going to give you some bad data, and it'll actually say that you're in Hong Kong, because that's where it was manufactured, and you can actually zoom in and see the place where your quadcopter was first programmed. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, let's get to it here. Put your battery in. There we go. Get your controller over. And also, another recommendation, I'd recommend putting these little cheat sheet on here. It's pretty easy, pretty good. You're going to power it on, and power on your controller. And then you're going to unlock the motors. And again, to unlock the motors, if you're not familiar, what you're going to do is you're going to take the controller and go all the way to the bottom right and hold it. And you will wait until the red light stops blinking. Just like that. If you wait about 10 seconds, the red light will begin to blink again and your motors are locked. So, as you see, there is nothing on the screen right now. I'm going to plug in the quadcopter here through the small, I think it's a mini USB on the base, I do believe. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll bring it over to the other camera here. There's also two servo control plugins and two 12-volt DC outputs on the bottom, which is pretty nice. Good to have. So, plug it in. There you go. And then on your computer, come over. Click on S8 Assistant and open it up. Now, you might have a slight issue that I found with the software. When you open it up, it's going to be a small window. But when you scroll over, it's going to turn into an arrow here. And with that, just click and drag and make it full screen. That way you'll be able to access some of the other stuff around here. Anyways, you'll see your device name, you'll see your firmware, your hardware, how many working minutes you've actually flown, which is kind of cool. And it'll also tell you if you have any new firmware. Anyways, go into the little settings or system status. It'll look like a gear. And as you can see, it says we're in Hong Kong. I'm not in Hong Kong. Now, it's going to try to acquire enough satellites to be able to find its location. And once it finds its location, you'll be able to see how many satellites it's connected to over here. And if you want to find out where it really is, you'll hit this little circle here. It's right next to the log button. And boom. There is where we actually are. So I'm going to switch it over to satellite view. Zoom in a bit. And that is pretty darn accurate. And it'll also tell you a couple things here. This little marker here will actually have a small black arrow, and that black arrow is its heading, which direction the quadcopter itself is facing. And if you're not sure what that is on the map, you can look down here on your artificial horizon, and this little white arrow. So we're going a little bit southwest, south-southwest. And you'll also see your joystick controls, so whenever you move your controls on your joystick, you'll be able to see them here. You'll see which switches are activated over here. And you'll also see some of the other settings here. You'll be able to see your altitude, your speed, your voltage, which is pretty nice. If you want to change some of your settings, which I do highly recommend, click on the umbrella, so the security. Now, you'll be able to see its settings here. And every time you plug it in, it's going to reset to default, just as a safety protocol. So, with your automatic return home, this is when you fly way far away and you can't see it anymore, and it's going to automatically try to come home and find you. So, you would click that, go down and select, I usually do about 20 meters, so it'll, from wherever it loses control, it'll fly up 20 meters, and then fly to you, and then drop down and land. So, I set my diameter to about 300 meters, and I set my height to about 200 meters. With the CX-20, you get up to 250 to 300 meters is pretty good and quite normal. So, alarm voltage, I usually set that to 10.9. And my landing voltage, I actually set it to 0.0. This way, if you're coming in for a landing and you're really close and you can almost grab it out of the air, if it hits that landing voltage, it's going up. It's going to do the 20 meters up and then find its position and drop back down. So I've had that happen once, didn't like it, so ever since then I took the landing voltage and put it to 0.0. Now if you also want to just hover in place until it reconnects with your controller, you can select that too, but only if you're in trees or if you're flying around buildings in a city. Anyways, I'll show you a couple other things here. You got your different versions of quadcopter, multi-rotor types, and usually it'll always select the correct one. Keep those at 100. Down here in your system status, you'll be able to see all of your raw logic. So let's check how many satellites we have. Right now we have 9 satellites. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yep, you saw it. Just hold on. Yep, 9 satellites currently. It's pretty good. Voltage 12.3, altitude about 3 meters. So let me show you the artificial horizon here. So as I take the quadcopter and I tilt it up, oh no! Okay, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a glitch. Sometimes that will happen when you hook it up to your computer. So anyways, if that happens, just unplug your quadcopter, unplug the USB, and then power off the controller. And then plug in the quadcopter and have it power up on its own. Then power on the controller, and then plug in the USB. Like that. Now, when that happens, you're also going to want to make sure that you still have connection from the controller itself to the quadcopter to the computer. And the way you'll do that is if you look at the joystick control, and I do right, green, left, green, and it'll fade. The more you push it, the brighter it gets. Now, up, down, and then with the throttle, since the motors are locked and the light is blinking, I can do this. You'll see your throttle down here. You can go all the way up to 800. Oh, 1,000, sorry. If you have no connection and you launch this, it'll say 800 as default down here. So if you see 800 as default, it's not connected to the quadcopter itself. But as you can see, it is connected. Even though it says no connection, it's still connected. Now with the artificial horizon here, you can actually see it tilting and moving along with the quadcopter. So say I'm going to turn it and watch that arrow all the way to north. And that's north. And you'll also see that instead of the white arrow here where the artificial horizon is, you'll also see this arrow change as well. And it's very quick since it's USB connection. So as you can see, the artificial horizon again. And the direction of the arrow. Now this quadcopter is quite nice with a GoPro or any other type of camera. I highly suggest this little one here. It's the SJ4000. It's quite nice. It's very easy to use and it comes with a lot of attachments and it's much cheaper. But anyways, I do believe that is it. As I said before, I recommend the other charger. Much faster charge. And then quick side note, get the protection frames. Can't stress that one. Get the protection frames. It will save your propellers. Well, anyways, if you guys want another video or any other information, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do.